Do you know what? Something I will just quickly throw in myself before we move on to stuff, because I did put it in the title of the episode. I did see the new Venom film, and I'm going to give my take on it in case you haven't seen it. I won't give any spoilers. But this film has no plot whatsoever.
Yeah,
absolutely none.
It's action.
There is absolutely no plot to Venom: The Last Stand. Like, devoid of plot. It even removes plot that was already established in the previous films. Like, I can't believe how no plot there is in this film. Like, it's...
Yeah.
The thing I'll say, which isn't a spoiler because it was at the end of like the previous film and the Spider-Man film, is we saw that Venom got sucked into the MCU universe, and they had this golden opportunity which they throw away and contradicts what happened in a previous film. So for the first 20 minutes of the film, you're like, how did that happen? And then if you've seen the trailer and it's like, Eddie, my home has found me. First of all, it's like, what do you mean your home? If you're saying Zod has found me, then we know what the threat is.
No,
this film. So I'm going to compare it to something else without spoiling this one. So if you saw the first Avengers film, and there's like the monsters that come out the void, and it's like, oh my god, and in a minute we're going to have to fight Loki. It's like they forgot to actually have a villain in this film. There's just things in it that happen. And it introduces some characters that I've got no idea where they came from, and they disappear for no reason. And when you know what the central plot is of this, it can be entirely avoided. But because of what the plot is, it means that they don't actually want to give you a Venom film that features Venom. I can't say enough without being any more specific. This film had no plot. This is no real spoiler because it is a Marvel film. There are post-credit scenes which will lead to nothing and make no sense because they contradict the movie you just watched. And I left before the final credit scene because it was so bad I just Googled it. Anyway, Deb.
Zack Snyder!
Yeah, this is bloody Snyder's fault. If he'd done better... Then Tom Hardy would have come back for some multiverse thing, and it'd have been like, I can't film Venom. I've got to be Bane again. That's what would have happened.
Oh,
okay. So in wrestling terms,
so David, if I'm hearing you correctly, you're telling me that I must not buy tickets for this movie and not go.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But then Madam Web.
Isn't this film
doing well? Madam Web is a better film.
No, so is Morbius.
I liked Morbius, for the record.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't the film doing well, guys? I heard
I don't think so. I think it's the lowest opening. It'll probably do okay. And I'm not going to lie, I hope they make a sequel. I hope they continue it because I don't want Marvel to get their hands on everything Spider-Man. I want someone else to still have a piece of the pie. But to be honest, Eddie Brock. Now look, I'm not the comic book guy, but they just project that the way they've had this character, even down to his voice, he just seems like some homeless guy that's confused all the time. That's the characterization that Tom Hardy's done in this. He's like, oh, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. None of the lines are clever. Sorry, Dev, you were going to say.
Yeah, in wrestling terms, this movie is what we would call a spot fest.
Yeah.
No substance, all action.
Yeah, it's all action. They've even... This is no spoiler. Didn't, Eddie Brock have a love interest?
Yes.
This is no spoiler. She's not in the movie. And she's not mentioned.
Yeah, Michelle Wick.
She broke up. She broke up in the other films.
But she broke... There is no plot in this film. Right, anyway.
I'm still excited for Lion Man.
Do you know what? I did see a trailer for that. Go on, Dev. What have you got?
See, the most annoying thing about Venom is there is a main villain, but they are building this main villain for the entire fucking movie, and he's saved for the sequel that will never happen.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, exactly. Well, look, there is no main villain when they don't do anything. There is nothing.
They keep alluding to him.
okay, we won't go into any more spoiler territory because if literally 2 sentences would spoil the whole film. It's that bad.
I'm not going to see it.
Okay, so fine, we're there, guys, right? There is a villain whose face you never see. It honestly looks like Henry Cavill's The Witcher, like white hair hanging over his face.
It's no,
whoever that is. But the idea is, the only way he can break out of some prison is if he has the codec. And the codec only happens when you get a symbiote who has like restored the life of a dead host. And Eddie Brock's like, oh, I was dead once, and so now they're able to track the codec only when Venom is in full Venom form. So when the head is poking over his shoulder, that's okay. When an arm, little tentacle is poking out, that's okay. But if he ever takes full Venom form, then he can be tracked. That just means the whole film, they're trying to avoid Venom ever being fully Venom in the Venom movie. Why would you do that? And then, every time he does have to become Venom, then suddenly these monsters, which are just like giant sloth monster, alien, slobbering whatever.
I call them Venom Eaters.
They can just detect Venom like what you've put the One Ring on. And yet, then Venom attaches himself to a horse, but because it's not attached to Eddie Brock, then they can't detect him. It's like, and the whole film, he's just like, I really want to go to New York because I've been accused of some murder in the previous film, and they never make it to New York. And the villain at the end credits is something like, I'm coming to get you, even though it can't happen. I won't say any more. Hang on a second, guys. I need to share a nerd rage just to calm myself down. Nerd rage!